大家好，我係阿天，我哋翻嚟繼續玩福爾摩斯啦。咁我哋上一集呢，就開咗呢一間房啦，呢一間房就係佢媽咪當年呢，生前住嘅嗰間睡房。咁我哋上一集呢，其實我哋就完全解決咗大笨象嗰單嘢噶啦，咁就即係破解咗入咗嚟呢間房。咁上一集我哋其實已經差唔多睇晒所有嘢啦，而家唔知有啲乜嘢可以做，成日都好迷茫，究竟有啲乜嘢可以做呢？
Be here, Sherry. We can leave any time you want.
Looks like it was damaged by a blunt object. Oh, it brings back some memories.
好，我哋揾咗好耐，終於揾到，原來係睇漏咗嘢。咁啊，清晨的狂躁再檢查，見到啦。通常都係睇漏嘢嘅啫，我哋爛咗嘅破碎嘅盤子。
Broken plate shards were all over the floor. Mycroft had to change his suit as the one he was wearing was completely stained. Mother was troubled that morning. Something we did upset her. Dr. Richter tried to calm her down. We had to put the tray with Mother's morning tea down, but why? It's starting to ring a bell. I think it happened in the morning.
又冥想，冥想係最嘥時間，最嘥時間，揾嘢都嘥時間噶啦。冥想真係一等同於咧，我要做好多個唔同嘅 match 咯，係勁複雜噶，我覺得。OK， 睇下先，呢個係倒寫盤，跟住咁樣嘅咩？先呢個就我哋兩個嚟嘅，細個嗰陣時，睇一睇啊！我哋要放低個盤，麥考夫不得不去。其實我唔係好認得麥考夫個樣，呢度係咪淨得麥考夫係男人咋？
You're not even trying, Sherry.
第
Concentrate.
一次嘗試失敗，睇下先，呢個係會變成點啊？得兩個選擇嘅啫喎，係嘛？得兩個啫嘛，試下咯。
You're not even trying, Sherry. Concentrate.
咁樣係倒寫盤呢個錯。哇係。
You're not even
又唔
trying,
啱。
Sherry.
喂，其實個選擇好少嘅啫喎。咦？係咪有少少唔同啊？定係都係兩個咋？咁呢個係咩啊？飲茶機會微啲嘛？不過都可以試下嘅，有陣時啊，我嘅邏輯係有啲問題嘅。
You're not even
係都唔
trying,
啱。
Sherry.
我覺得
Concentrate.
唔應該係咁他條咁坐去飲茶，因為佢哋係發生咗啲事幹噶嘛。咁啊呢個唔啱。
You're not even
喂，
trying,
我唔係
Sherry.
已經試晒所有嘅咩啦咩已經？咁樣啊？嗱，咁都唔得，我真係唔知點啊！
I don't believe you! Liars! Get away from me! It's not true! It's not real!
What? Oh.
Everything will be okay, Sherry. I promise.
It was the morning of the 9th of April, the day my mother died.
4月9日早上開始變得糟糕，母親焦慮，歇斯底里，肆意咁掉嘢，對醫生大喊大叫話佢係騙子。叫我拎咗早茶，開始見到佢嗌，我哋嚇親，唯一可以做嘅就匿埋喺床邊，等待一切過去。謝天謝地，叫保護我，讓我冷靜下來。
My mother, she was not just ill, but mad. God have mercy.
I'm sorry. That explains why you locked the memory away.
There must be more, John. That was the morning of her death. I need to know what happened. John!
Every time you... I just don't... Please, Sherry, leave it be.
Just breathe, John. You know that I cannot leave the last stone unturned. We are so close.
I know. But can we at least leave it for another day?
It cannot wait. Let us find another door and finally learn the truth.
That's pointless, Sherry. To date, you have had no control over the return of these memories. It is all triggered by your work elsewhere on Cordona. You must accept that this will have to wait. Are you all right?
In the end, little has changed. My mother was still unwell, just not with tuberculosis. What I do not yet understand is why Mycroft lied about it. There are precious few pieces of this puzzle remaining, John. Let us dawdle here no longer.
Indeed. Wait, did you hear that?
Yes. Metallic souls. What is this sailor doing here?
聽到個金屬嘅鞋踭聲就已經知道係水手。嗰陣時只有水手嘅鞋先係金屬嘅鞋踭。頭先嗰個係一條問題啊！我哋係咪要落去樓下揾佢啊？間屋成個廢咗個屋咁，你都可以行入嚟敲門嘅。
With whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
You could call me your new game. The rules are simple. I have something for you, but you alone must work out what that is.
And that something is my prize, I suppose?
You're a fast learner, sir.
如果我真人遇到呢啲人，我一定會覺得佢係騙案咯，之後叫佢走，嘥我時間。有啲粉紅色嘅顏料，哇！咁你都睇到。水手服，完美無瑕嘅雙手，左撇子，藝術家偽裝成為水手，都似嘅係嘛？我覺得因為佢隻手呢，照計如果水手應該隻手唔會咁完美無瑕咯，同埋佢頭頂無端端有紮粉紅色嘅油漆啊嘛。如果唔係就係水手藝術家，咁但係佢隻手，睇下先，睇下點樣解釋佢隻手啊？其實兩樣都有可能嘅喎。其實我而家揀呢啲嘢呢，究竟有冇影響我哋嘅後續㗎？如果冇影響，不如求其揀一個得啦，好嘛？我哋揀佢係藝術家扮水手啊。
I cannot believe that Mr. Vogel has somehow successfully called my attention to his gallery. You're here with an invitation to visit it, obviously.
My word, you are fast, Mr. Holmes. Could you explain how you came to that conclusion?
Of course. Explanations are my favorite part of any conversation. Hands without any sign of regular physical activity in contradiction to one who would most usually wear such a uniform. The paint in your hair is pink. I don't know of any military service that paints their ships pink, unless they have launched a new fashionable fleet. A sailor with the soul of an artist? I would suggest rather a gallery employee disguised as a sailor to mislead me. How many artists on the island know where I live and of my passion for deduction? Werner Vogel is clearly at the top of the list. And you've been attempting to conceal something square-shaped within your pocket. An invitation, I suppose. An invitation to Mr. Vogel's gallery.
That was remarkable, Mr. Holmes. Mr. Vogel was right about your genius. I think he may have even underestimated you. This is your invitation. Please tell Mr. Vogel that the seed has been planted. He asked me to tell you to do so, if you win this little game. Farewell.
你肯定已經猜到，邀請你來體驗我嘅藝術展覽，不單單是為咗欣賞藝術之美，亦都俾你天縱才智得以發揮。喺老城市集路同埋愛馬仕大道交叉，新案件異國美女。咁睇嚟呢，其實我哋如果要知道，其實我哋成個古仔最終極呢，其實就係想知阿媽發生咩事啊嘛。咁但係我估睇個勢咧，應該係我哋每一次破到一單案呢，咁我哋就可以知道多少少屋企嗰啲嘢，咁會了解多啲阿媽嘅嘢咁樣。所以我哋而家要去咗市集路舊城。好，應該係前面呢間啦，咁靚，雙隊旅館。
Mr. Holmes, you came. Oh, how kind. Though now, of course, I realize it is because of my game, not the works on display.
It needn't be one or the other. Your man's disguise was easily debunked, Mr. Vogel, but I shall admit that you planted in me the seed of curiosity.
Ah, terrific. I had no doubt you'd put the pieces together. Let us call it an opening gambit before the real game begins.
So, this little game of yours, what's it about?
An enigma to solve. A locked area in the basement with no windows found brutally vandalized. I have no clue how it was possible.
And this locked area downstairs, what exactly was it?
The under gallery. It's always shut, and I'm the only one with the key.
Ah, so this is your private collection, not part of the gallery.
Oh, no. It's an exclusive exhibition of eccentric pieces. Only a select cadre of artists, investors, and collectors are admitted. Not everyone deserves to have their eyes opened.
What about this intrusion? What happened?
Last night, I was about to leave the gallery when I heard a noise downstairs. I went to the basement, but I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. It was admittedly a rudimentary inspection. It is not uncommon to get rats down there, so seeing nothing of note, I left and locked up the building. When I returned this morning, alas, I discovered that part of the exhibition had been torched, and there was no sign of the intruder. The mystery being, of course, that all the doors to the gallery were locked exactly as I left them.
And the door to the basement is the only entrance?
Correct. Tell me you're not intrigued.
Well, this matter is certainly within my wheelhouse.
This intrusion troubles me. Please take a look around if you're willing. The under gallery is through the door at the end.
I will see what I see.
I wish I could show you the gallery under different circumstances, but life is beautiful in its unpredictability, isn't it?
佢個地下室喺邊櫃度
You
啊？
sure you don't like art, Sherry?
唔太 like 咯。誒，發現到了。AC
Back home, we've got a taxidermist.
C1
He's gonna have a heart attack when he sees what I bring him.
呢度做咩啊？喺度釣魚啊！
Back home, we've got a taxidermist. He's gonna have a heart attack when he sees what I bring him.
我呢度好奇怪喎，一啲都唔似嗰啲咩收藏品啊嗰啲喎。咩嚟㗎？啲煤炭嘅物體啊？呢個我睇唔到嘅。啊？誒？做乜嘢啊？29英寸，即係個步伐有咁奇怪喺度行路。佢嗰隻腳咧。嗰個印啊，個位置好奇怪。仲有邊度？誒，24英
The
寸。
left step's length is shorter than the right.
哦，一長一短㗎，佢隻腳有問題㗎。佢隻腳 no good。
Closed with a metal bolt.
哇！呢個咩？刮痕、磁鐵屑，有人刮過呢度，有腳印喎。
Footprints. Size
9.5啊，大小啊，哇，都幾大隻腳喎，其實。咁即係有人喺度咁捐出嚟喎。咁嗰個破壞嗰條友好明顯就係呢度走出嚟啦。點解有張床喺度嘅？勁恐怖，紅色嘅仲要係。咦？點解有副骷髏骨喺度㗎？唔想睇啊
Sherry, how about some company in that
烏
dreary
鴉。
chamber of yours?
哇，好
Leave
核
my
突啊！
loneliness unbroken, John.
咩嚟㗎？看起來稍微移動過，我仲要俾人喐過啲副骨，超恐怖。真定假㗎副嘢？但係我覺得呢度係應該會係真嘅咯。
A handprint of the thing from another world. But it looks fresh and its coal
仲
origin
要有人俾人
won't
打
subject
手印，
extra
佢個
money.
棺木俾人打手印。Shit！ 成個地牢全部都係啲恐怖詭異嘅
Sodden
嘢，
and
幅
mold
畫都
ridden,
恐怖過人嘅，
one presumes deliberately.
好似啲血咁啊！即係嗰啲好恐怖、陰森恐怖嘅 Resident Evil 嗰啲嘢。咦？哇！我唔玩恐怖 game 喎，咩嚟㗎？有啲奇怪嘅，有個框喺度嘅，畫框是空的。
Sheer vandalism. Only an ignorant person could do such a
幅
thing.
畫俾人攞走咗，全部都係啲爛咗嘅嘢，垃圾嚟㗎。定係藝術品嚟㗎？垃圾同藝術品只係一線之差。咦？哦，煙頭喎！哦，呢度係佢頭先講燒咗嗰
I think we're
度。
looking for a man with a coal moustache.
有煤炭跡，即係可能頭先嗰個行喺煤窿嗰度行入嚟嗰個人食㗎支煙。唉，我見到啊，我哋又要冥想啊！我懷疑我哋要冥想。頭先嗰個波波打出嚟，咦？仲有嘢㗎喎呢度。咩嚟㗎？鏈條很脆弱，用作畫畫。我咁樣吊起啲畫嚟畫，咁佢唔會揈下揈下咩？仲有冇嘢未睇晒？唉，嗰個有波波。呢度呢？呢度仲有嘢未睇㗎喎。
The parasites of creativity. Or just a reflection of the artist's recreational interests. Saturn devouring his son. Oh, grim composition.
藝術嘅嘢真係識條鐵，
Unflinching in its
咁鬼核突
ferocity,
嘅畫都有嘅，
somehow beautiful.
意識不良。哇！今次好似有好多個喎，有成5個啊！睇下門口呢個先。阿邊個行入嚟？因為就可能係個犯人行入嚟喎。因為我哋睇埋其他先，反正都唔方會一次搞掂㗎啦我哋喺度趴喺度做咩啊？我呢個 make sense 係嘛？我得2個選擇啫。OK， 咁我覺得係呢個啦。跟住好棺材呢度，哇！佢捐咗入去啊！咁恐怖！咦唔係喎？咦死啦！有個掌印係咪佢㗎？唔係喎，都有可能係呢個。跟住呢度，我呢個燒嘢嘅。喂！哇死！佢會唔會佢自己喺度燒㗎？會唔會係佢喺度作古仔㗎？喂！有冇咁嘅機會啊？我想問，即係成單嘢係佢自己搞出嚟嘅，都唔頂㗎喎，其實。
You're not even trying, Sherry.
好
Concentrate.
我哋係應該歸類一啲我哋都幾肯定係啱嗰啲先，即係譬如呢
You're
個
not even trying, Sherry.
呢個其
Concentrate.
實，我覺得呢個入嚟呢，就應該係啱嘅。咁呢個位應該係個畫家啦。咁我哋假設係嗰個愛人，佢燒晒啲畫，
You're not even trying, Sherry.
都係錯喎
Concentrate.
係咪呢個錯啊？
You're not even trying.
都係唔啱啊！究竟邊個先係啊？我根本係完全咧係靠撞啊，已經去到，其實全部都係2分1機會率咯。但係因為佢有5個選擇咯，咁所以就哇
The intruder entered the
撞中
basement
啦，
through the coal chute.
係
He
撞
used a
中。
magnet to open the hatch bolt. He accidentally pushed a shovel to the floor. Vogel heard the noise. At the sound of his approaching footsteps, the intruder hid inside the coffin. When Vogel entered the basement, he failed to notice anything strange and left without properly checking. The intruder waited until Vogel had left the caravanserai before burning the paintings in Wilde's room, but the vandalism was a cover for the theft.
其實我係冇估到佢會係匿埋咗喺嗰個骷髏骨度，真係冇估到，完全係跳唔出呢個框框。我覺得係點會有人肯匿埋去個骷髏骨度，同埋我亦都覺得係冇乜位置俾佢，但係原來真係發生咗咯。唉，諗嘢不能跳出框框係我嘅問題。喂，條友去咗邊啊？我幫你破咗案喎，條友咧。
The pieces are not what I expected.
What do you think my collection is about?
Extravagant paintings have been left to rot in a basement. A commentary on decay and the crumbling of society, correct?
I don't know.
Well, that's absurd. Of course you know. It's your gallery.
There is no one answer, no singular truth, but many filtered through the subjective mind. That forgetting, embellishing, lying machine. Besides, what's wrong with a lie if it makes life more interesting?
What's wrong with a lie? It corrupts the ability of others to behave freely and rationally.
Men never act freely and rationally anyway. It matters not what is or isn't in the end. The only important thing is how you feel. And I simply want to feel and consume as much as I can. Don't you?
Feelings are simply one's animal ancestry trying to wrest back control of the brain. I try to avoid the distraction.
You try not to feel, even in a place like this? None of it moves you?
To be frank, I struggle to maintain even a whit of interest in art.
But Mr. Holmes, it is joy incarnate, mankind's greatest achievement.
Mankind's highest achievement above all others is objective and rational thought.
I see then why you dislike art, for it means whatever you want it to.
Or perhaps, Mr. Vogel, I was lying.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Vogel, my investigation has revealed that the intrusion was not merely vandalism but theft. The limping visitor left your place with a canvas.
That's very impressive.
This thief was familiar with the gallery and he was sporting a limp. Do any of your clients or artists come to mind?
My, your attention to detail is remarkable, Mr. Holmes. I should introduce you to Bosch's works. Alas, I'm afraid I cannot suggest a culprit.
The intruder entered the basement through the coal chute. He used a magnet to open the latch and dislodged the shovel while doing so. That's the noise you heard yesterday. When you went downstairs to investigate, he hid in the coffin.
It seems I should have checked the space more thoroughly.
The fire was a clever attempt to hide a stolen painting, even if it didn't fool me. I found the remnants of an empty frame in the pile of ashes. The canvas had been removed. Do you know which paintings in the Wild Room may have interested a thief? Were any particularly expensive?
Those pieces belong to a well-known artist named Boniface Mercurio. They're controversial, but not of a notably high value.
There's something more, is there not? I can see it in your eyes.
Indeed. There is another intriguing angle. I recently received an anonymous offer for one of Mercurio's works. The sum was more than fair, and indeed could have saved Mercurio from his artistic poverty. But he declined it.
Was it a performative whim? Some artists lionize pain and hardship as if their work would be worse after a meal and a hot bath.
I cannot tell. But not only did he refuse the deal, he insisted on displaying the painting in the public space. I was hoping to change his mind, but artists are a special breed of stubborn.
What was depicted in the piece?
A bound woman, wrapped in robes, being penetrated by a red devil that stared at us, the viewer. The beast had numerous tails growing from his back, and a large crowd gathered around the pair, silently watching the orgiastic scene.
Okay, well, given the nature of the other works on display, it's hard to see why that one stood out. What could possibly be its value?
The evaluation of art is very subjective, Mr. Holmes. After all, art is everything. A poem, a bruise, the beads of sweat on your beloved skin. Even a masterfully solved crime.
I'm not sure I see the connection.
Regardless, the painting was one of a series called The Sabbath Night in Cordona. The works depict sex, violence, and other controversial acts that life, for better or worse, contains.
Ah, I see.
I'm not sure that you do, but that can wait for another time.
So where can I find Boniface Mercurio?
I know he lives somewhere in Old City. but couldn't be more specific. He's a prominent figure, so finding him shouldn't be a problem.
Well, I believe I have enough to begin. Thank you, Mr. Vogel. Your gallery certainly has unexpected depths.
I'm delighted to have been able to please a friend. In return, I expect you to come back with good news. Or at least with a good story.
好啦，講完一大堆廢話，咁個重點呢，就係佢幅畫俾人偷咗啦。咁我哋而家要去麥優里奧嘅住址。其實佢講嘢嗰陣時，我有少少遊魂，咁所以我都唔係好記得點解我哋要去，不過唔緊要啦，我哋都係要去噶啦。我人係有呢個問題，就算以前讀書讀歷史堂嗰陣時候，特別通常發生係咩？讀歷史，當一個人不停咁講嘢嘅時候呢，縱使我同自己講我要好認真去聽，我唔聽我搞唔掂，但係我都會控制唔到自己咁樣去遊魂，冇辦法。可能其實係一種嗰啲叫咩啊？嗰啲叫唔知咩障礙症啊，或者乜綜合症嗰啲啊，嗰啲 friend 啊，是但啦。佢係一個名人定係平民？睇下先。區域係喺舊城，係咪舊城啊？睇下先啊，老城係咪即係舊城啊？應該係啊嘛？點解個名唔同呢？係咪啲翻譯出嚟問題？又爆出咗一單關於當地所謂上流社會拍賣嘅醜聞，墮落之母嘅畫作，紅絲出版社負責人達隆特威克打破咗田園式安寧嘅氛圍，將凳掉向頹廢藝術家麥優里奧。一場混戰開始，有好多客戶捲咗入去，經過一場持久戰，警察嚟到，上流社會毆鬥者被捕，被禁閉咗1週，係幾咁激動人心嘅事。身為一個忠誠嘅私人顧問，我哋建議你入拍賣會度買咗個紀念品。總之我哋要去卡利特街同埋奧利弗街，就去揾佢。OK， 好，你睇佢樣幾頹，佢啲杜拉格斯頭。而家好興嗰啲杜拉格斯頭，加個 deep V 嘅衫，應該係呢度嘅咯喎。邊度啊？呢度門啊？係咪呢度？其實啲門呢，度度都好似，而家逐到撳咯，即係撞嘅咋。
Excuse me, young man. Where do you think you're going?
Greetings, ma'am. I'm looking for the...
I don't care who you're looking for. You shall not pass. No visitors allowed.
I wish to buy a painting from Mr. Boniface Mercurio. Is he at home?
Dearie, tell me, because old age has made me blind. Did someone write Information Bureau on my forehead? Because I'm not here to answer your questions. Entry is for residents only. If you aren't a resident, please leave, or I shall report you to the police.
佢個阿婆唔俾我哋入去揾佢喎，我哋要點做啊？佢嗰個公仔呢，有個換衫個公仔，我記唔記得？可能我哋要換衫，係咪扮佢啊？佢隻眼唔好啊嘛，扮係佢，跟住然之後等佢認唔到我哋係邊個，未必係咁咯。睇下先啊，換衫要揾個有得換衫嘅地方。
Oriental rugs at a good
Let's
price.
pick something that suits you.
OK， 睇下先啊，我哋而家嘅要求係點樣啊？係咪扮到好似佢咁嘅樣就得噶啦？或者佢件衫係 deep V 嘅，會有 deep V 嘅衫。佢呢件喎，勁 deep。仲有冇其他睇下先啊？哇，搞笑！應該係扮 deep V 啊，有白色喎，白色係咪似啲啊？定係黑色似啲啊？白色同黑色唔同嘅喎，佢隔離嗰條包會跳嘅喎。一模一樣啫，點解會唔同嘅？你睇下，係有啲唔同嘅喎。哇！呢個頭同佢一模一樣喎，點解可以 exactly set 翻佢嗰個頭嘅？佢嗰個真係死人頭嚟嘅喎，勁醜樣。哇！可以戴口罩，抗疫。都留胡鬚，咁樣似唔似啊？我好蒼老，我啲隻鬚好誇張。
Be careful with what
我哋而家咁嘅樣 O 唔 OK 啊？似唔似啊？ 似唔似啊？我覺得似啊，OK 啦，應該呃到阿婆啊，阿婆隻眼唔好啊嘛。好，我哋試下先。
No.
啊，
Visitors.
阿婆，你又話眼唔好嘅，點解你分到嘅？我哋邊度有唔同啊？咪就係咁。我覺得好似嘅喎，其實我眼好，我都覺得好似喎。係咪胡鬚啊？係咪要加翻啲咁樣先夠頹啊？咁樣啦，
Be careful with what you
有少少
take
胡鬚渣咁樣咯，似唔似啊？跟住換翻白色衫啊，似啦啩？
Orient.
好
Boniface, sweet.
，OK。
Is that you? Ah. Old age does terrible things to one's sight. I didn't recognize you at first.
How are you, Mum? I'm ashamed to admit that I've lost my key. Do you have a spare?
For heaven's sake. How many times will you lose that key of yours? Of course I have a spare. You artists all live in your own little world.
Please accept my thanks.
I would rather accept your rent. You promised to pay me several weeks ago and I'm still waiting.
I will pay you, I promise, very soon.
You'd better do, my dear. Or else I'll just change the lock. And I won't fall for those cow eyes.
哇，咁佢就俾咗個鎖匙我哋，咁我哋可以直接鏟上去佢個屋企啦。咁我哋呢，今集就唔上去住啦，留翻下一集先上啦。咁今日時間差唔多啦，OK 啦，今集都因為起碼我哋都解決咗畫廊嗰單嘢嘛。咁我哋記翻喺呢個位置，因為呢，每一次呢，其實開 game 呢，佢都會跳翻去個 save， 跳翻去 checkpoint 度，咁就唔係 exactly 喺呢度。好啦，咁我哋今日時間差唔多啦。如果大家中意呢個系列嘅，記得俾個 like 或者 share 俾啲朋友啦。如果想繼續睇下其他影片，記得 subscribe 埋啦。我哋下一集再翻嚟繼續玩福爾摩斯啦，拜拜。